Ever needed to compare answers from different AI models using the exact same code structure? You'll see how to set GPT-4o Mini as the default language model in dspy, then temporarily switch to GPT-3.5 Turbo for a single question, all while printing both responses side by side for direct comparison. dspy.configure lm equals dspy lm /GPT-4o Mini. Response equals ca. Question equals how many floors are in the castle David Gregory inherited? Print GPT-4o Mini. Response answer. With dspy.context lm equals dspy lm /GPT-3.5 Turbo. Response equals ca. Question equals how many floors are in the castle David Gregory inherited? Print GPT-3.5 Turbo. Response answer. This code demonstrates dspy's language model configuration pattern through two distinct approaches. It first establishes a default model globally using dspy.configure, then temporarily overrides it within a context block using dspy.context. The key distinction is the explicit separation between persistent and scoped model assignments. The implementation shows how model selection flows through the call stack. The default configuration applies to all subsequent operations until explicitly changed, while the context manager creates a temporary override that automatically reverts when the block exits. This creates clear boundaries between different model usage scenarios without manual cleanup. This pattern enables controlled experimentation with different models while maintaining clean code organization. The global configuration handles your primary model choice, while context blocks allow temporary switches for comparison or specialized tasks. The automatic reversion prevents configuration leaks between different operations. Let's break it down line by line. dspy.configure lm equals dspy lm /GPT-4o Mini. Sets the default language model to GPT-4o Mini for all subsequent dspy operations. This configuration applies until explicitly changed or overridden. Response equals ca. Question equals how many floors are in the castle David Gregory inherited? This executes the ca function with a hard-coded question, assigning the result to response. The response object will contain the model's generated answer, which we'll access in the next line. Print GPT-4o Mini. Response answer. This prints the answer from the GPT-4o Mini model to the console, showing the result of the first question before the context manager switches models. The labeled output makes it clear which model generated which response. With dspy.context lm equals dspy lm /GPT-3.5 Turbo. Temporarily overrides the language model to GPT-3.5 Turbo for all dspy operations within this block. The context manager ensures the original configuration is restored after the block exits. Response equals ca. Question equals how many floors are in the castle David Gregory inherited? This invokes the ca pipeline with a hard-coded question, triggering the currently configured language model to generate an answer. The response object captures both the raw answer and any associated metadata for inspection. Print GPT-3.5 Turbo. Response answer. This prints the answer from GPT-3.5 Turbo to the same question, showing the model's specific response for direct comparison with the previous GPT-4o Mini output. The labeled format makes it easy to distinguish between model results in the console. dspy lm context pattern. This code shows how to configure a default language model and temporarily override it using a context manager, with both configurations producing distinct responses to the same question. The context manager ensures the override only applies within its block, automatically reverting to the default LM afterward. This pattern enables clean, scoped experimentation with different models while maintaining a stable default configuration.
The cache that forgets nothing remembers everything differently.